Alexa, good morning.
Be grateful for this day.
Stop.
Hey Google, play CNN on Living Room TV.
Sure, playing CNN from YouTube TV on Living Room TV.
You're listening to Senior Tech Tips. This is John Armwood, and today we're talking about the Viltrox Speedbooster. I'm using it as we speak on the Canon M50 with the Canon 50mm lens. Now, without the Speedbooster and just either the Canon or with the one I have, which is the third-party Camelite EF-EOS M adapter, I couldn't sit close to this camera. I'm a little bit more than an arm's length away, and I couldn't do that. If I go up to the screen, you'll see like this. I couldn't use this because the focal length on this 50mm lens on the 1.6 cropped sensor on the Canon M50 makes the lens an effective 80mm using the full frame standard. But what this Speedbooster does is it cuts the frame back to being almost what it would be if it were a full frame lens. So it's like 51 is the frame rate on it. So it's very, very close. It's 50 point something, because what you do is you multiply the crop, which is 1.6 times the focal length, which is 50mm, times 0.71, which is the crop on Speedbooster, and that's how you figure it out. But this is great. I think the picture I'm getting looks excellent, even though it has a lens. That's a question my son John had, was with the Speedbooster, I mean, you're putting glass in it, it's going to be less sharp. And I think he's basically right. Is it noticeable? Not unless you do a direct comparison and look at it very closely. But the trade-off is that you get a nice creamy bokeh in the back. Look at the bushes behind me, and I can see that in the viewfinder of the lens, that it's, very, very creamy. Also, it adds a little weight to this lens on the M50, which steadies it and it enables me to use the M50 in my hand without having to put it on the Joby tripod. I talked about that in my last video. Difficulties I was having with the M50 in getting blurry shots. They were fuzzy because of the fact that the lens is fairly heavy in relation to the body of the camera. With this lens now, with the Speedbooster on it, and it also has a stand that you can use to balance it on your tripod to make it a little bit more balanced in weight on the tripod. I'm using the Joby right now, and not a problem. I was holding it earlier today, not a problem. I am closer in than with the 22mm lens, which is an effective 35mm lens. If you were to take out the crop factor, and this is 50mm, so it's tighter in, but it still works. And I'm sitting at a small round picnic table, so it's not far away. You can use any of your EF lenses. I have a 50-50 to 250 zoom. I probably wouldn't use it on that, simply because that it's a zoom. I want to get as much zoom as I can, and I get close to 300 zooms if I use the Camelite adapter, which does not have a Speedbooster in it. So if I want to use less zoom, I want to get around 50mm, I can use this. If I take off the Speedbooster and put on the Camelite on this, I can get up to 80mm on this lens. So what this Speedbooster, the Viltrox, does is turns your EF lenses that you might have, or it turns them into two lenses. You have two focal lengths. If you have a mirrorless camera, like the M5, like the M50, M100, M3, any of those Canon cameras, your lens is now two lenses. If you get the Camelite or one of the other third-party adapters, and they're cheap, they're like $43. The Viltrox runs around $150. But the beauty of it is that you can use that great Nifty-Fifty lens, and it works wonderfully well. I was critical of it 2 videos ago because I was having problems focusing. When it was on, and when I wasn't getting a focus, it was not very good. That problem has been solved, and not only do I not need to use a tripod now, I can hold it in my hand, and I took some shots, which I'll show you. I'm able to get a really sharp, blurry background in my videos, and I love it. Please check the like button if you like this video. Please share this video. Videography and photography are great pastimes for senior citizens. I love it, and I waited until last year, just before my 66th birthday. I was at 65 to start getting into it. I did it a little bit as a teenager, but I didn't have my own DSLR camera. I was using a friend of mine's. Then I actually got one, an old Pentax, and I didn't really spend a whole lot of time with it because it didn't work well. My friend's camera was a Honeywell Pentax Spotmatic. I remember Shelly had that camera, and I used to like to play around with it and shoot with it. But I was 16 years old, and I never really had it full time to really learn how to use it. This M50 I've had since, I guess, the end of September, and it's my favorite toy right now. And that's one of the wonderful things about being a senior citizen. You get the chance for a second childhood, and you get to play with toys again. So have a good day, enjoy your toys, and I'll see you on the next episode of Senior Tech Tips, right here on YouTube. Hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this, where I show you tips on how to improve your life with technology. Take care.